financing fall through or be somehow outbid? Is it a guarantee that they will purchase it?
I think you'd have to have them, but Mr. Wages, why don't you let him answer this?
So my understanding, I do have an existing contract, at least a point of sale contract existing with the seller, the solar company, that if the town does not move forward with their first right of refusal tonight, then basically the solar company has already signed the PNSA that initiates another sale of the property. I think we put it as effective as like July 1st or July 7th, because literally the first right of refusal is everything's said and done on the 30th of June, so we made it for the beginning of July. So as far as I understand, it's my understanding that yes, if this doesn't happen, then we have the contract to be able to move forward, so that we would be the proprietors of the.
I have a question for him too.
Okay.
Before he goes. In the selectmen's meeting, when you were presenting the proposal, you told us that you were moving to Cedar Street and building Cedar Lake and building a house there. Is that correct?
So.
Wait. And then you also said you were developing 2 lots on Fisk Hill, and then you said your wife wants to put in a tree farm, but we'll see, is what you said in the selectmen's meeting, just probably not even a month ago. So where are you planning to reside permanently when you live in Sturbridge?
So I am happy you asked that question. So yes, we do own property at 70 Westwood Drive in Sturbridge. We have approval plans that to build a residence at that price or at that plot.
Right, which is where you told us in the meeting that you'd be living. And you said you're going to develop 2 lots and then make your tree farm if your wife, but we'll see about that. But I just wanted to comment that that was what we heard. I don't have any other questions for you.
Yeah, so the property at the Westwood Drive,
Nobody has to anymore.
that is something
People
that
just speak, I guess.
through the time with the COVID situation and also to the price of lumber, we've decided to put that on indefinite hold. So if we were successful in obtaining this the Fisk Hill property, we would not be building on Cedar Lake. We would actually be building on the Fisk Hill property. So that's something that my wife and I actually, through this entire experience, things do change. And then the other 2
Okay, we have
properties-
one speaker at a time, okay? Let's do it that way.
The other 2 properties mentioned.
Okay. Please, let the man finish.
So
Please finish, Mr. Wages.
The other 2 properties that you speak of is 137 and 139 Fisk Hill. Those are the 2 properties that we said that we would be interested in potentially developing. The 137 is basically where we would put our primary residence, because talking to the town planners, that is the only entrance spot that has legal access to actually not only 137, but also the 133 Fisk Hill Road, because of the land requirements and the frontage requirements. So that is that property, and then yes, we also discussed if the property perked on 139, that we would end up looking to be able to sell that off as a potential development to be able to recoup some of the price of the actual property itself.
Okay, Mr. Wages, you've been way over the 4 minutes here, so we're trying to give you a chance. People have been interrupting you. Anyone else has something to add, something new here? We're going to address, you've spoken several times. Anyone else who has not spoken yet? Anybody has anything else to add? Okay. Mrs. Dumas, you want to answer a question? Then we're going to consider moving the question.
One question was, why did it take 8 months? It's been a real challenge to hold meetings during COVID. Virtually, you don't get into town hall, you don't know what's going on. It's really been a challenge, so that is why it's taken 8 months. The second question is, something that was asked up there, but I'm going to tell you from my experience, until there's a closing, anything can happen.
Okay, somebody's talking about a motion to move the question. Somebody making that motion? Is it second? Okay. Mr. Eichmann, if my memory's correct, we just vote on that? We don't have a discussion, is that correct? Okay. And that's a majority vote, is it not? Okay. Okay, thank you. Get the same book I do, yeah. Okay, so we're going to have a vote that is a majority vote. If we move the question, we'll then vote on the issue. If we don't approve moving the question, then we go back to as much discussion as you people want to have, okay? So, we're moving the question, that's the motion on the floor. Can we put that in, Alex? Sure. It's a motion to move the question. This is where the computer's not good, because we can have an agenda, but then the stuff that comes in later, we have to add. Okay, we have a motion made, a second, no discussion. All in favor of moving the question, bringing it to a vote, signify by voting yes. We're going to start voting now. Did I rush you too much on that? No, it's- Five seconds. Voting is over. Okay, we're going to, guess we're going to vote that question. 155 to move it, 10 opposed. So we next vote on the substitute motion as proposed by the Preservation Committee. Again, let's come back to square one. Give Alex a chance to set this up. Are you ready to go on that? Okay. Square one is that substitute motion is that the town would acquire the property using Preservation Committee funds and to use it for recreation as set forth in that long substitute motion that I read before, okay? That would overrule or outweigh, if you will, the Finance Committee's motion to take no action on it. If this is approved, that's the end of it. If it's not approved, then we're back at square one, and I guess we're going to think this one out, but I think with no action, we're probably at the end of it again, so there is no motion. Okay. Okay, that should be the end of it. Okay, let's see what happens here. Okay, so we're going to vote on the town's motion for substitute, I can't even talk. The town's substitute motion to purchase the property using CPC money, okay? That's a majority article, and we're going to vote. The voting's going to start now. Five seconds. Voting is over. 109 to acquire the property, 58 opposed. So the town is going to use CPC money. Okay, we need a motion to dissolve in honor of Mr. Briere, the special town meeting. So moved. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? We're not voting, to dissolve. You're never going to get a vote on this. It was done by unanimous acclaim. You want to vote? You want to vote? Open the vote. No.
What do you see up there?
Hit the open vote. We're going to vote now on dissolving the meeting.
Close the meeting.